Hey guys, thank you for pressing play and welcome back to today's video. I'm Moniie Talks, and for those of you who are new here, a very warm welcome to you. I want to get straight into today's topic and really just navigate through how to deal with rejection. I know sometimes we get so carried away with the end goal of what we want that we allow it to become somewhat negative when we're just really not getting it in the time that we think we should have it. So before I go any further, if you like my vibe here, please do not hesitate to subscribe and like, comment and share. Let's get into this. After everything that has been going on this week, I thought it was quite an interesting viewpoint to speak on how to deal with rejection, and I think it's something that isn't always taught. We're always taught about love, we're always taught about how to deal with your emotions when they're positive, but we're not always taught about how to deal with your emotions when you're faced with something negative. And rejection is probably one of the biggest things that we all commonly have to deal with. We face rejection when we are interviewing for jobs. We face rejection when we're in relationships, when we break up, when we're dating. We face rejection in so many ways when we're chasing that career that everyone told you not to quit your job for. There is different ways of dealing with rejection. Just because things don't turn out the way you wanted to on that particular occasion for that particular thing, that doesn't mean that it's not for you. That doesn't mean that it's never gonna happen. It just means that that way of it happening isn't your way of it happening. That person is not your person to give you the experience that you have dreamed and desired and manifested. That job isn't the job that's going to give you that salary that you said that you wanted, or the pay rises, or the opportunities to grow that you want to grow. That career path, that investor isn't going to give you your maximum potential of investment, so that door's going to close. What we need to try and practice is separating what we want versus who's going to give it to us. I have been a common habitual victim of wanting something so bad that every time I felt like I could have been getting it, I attached the idea to that person or to that job or to that thing. I've gone into jobs and I thought, that's it, this is going to be the job that's going to allow me to travel and network in certain ways, or dated someone and been like, that's it, this is the person that's going to give me the happy ending that I want. I realized I dealt with less feelings of rejection outwardly and internally when I stopped putting my end goal and the things that I want into every opportunity that came about. With the situation with Piers, I kind of look at it as, this is a man, not that's dealing with a racial issue, but that's dealing with an ego issue. Now don't take what I say as gospel, this is just my humble opinion, but I look at this man knowing full well that he's once upon a time gone out with Megan, someone that he got on with and spoke very highly with. For all we know, there was a part of him that saw growth in their relationship, whether it be romantic, whether it just be a friendship, who knows. Having to be cut off from any relationship isn't nice. I'm pretty sure if you've had a friend that you saw yourself growing a good relationship with, you had good energy, good vibes with, and they've had to cut you off for whatever unknown reason, it's still gonna hurt. It's not gonna feel nice. It doesn't feel good to know that you thought something about someone and they didn't receive it. It weren't reciprocated. Ultimately, rejection is energy that's not reciprocated. And when it doesn't go the way that you think, when it doesn't go the way to plan, sometimes we can internalize that and think it is us, we are the reason it didn't happen. This thing isn't for us. I shouldn't want that, because if I wanted it and it was for me, it would have happened by now. Who's to say when it's meant to happen? Who told you it was meant to happen by now? It happens exactly when it's meant to happen. And getting comfortable with the thought of, this is what I want, this is what I've put out there, I've let it go and allowed it to become a thing so it can cycle back to me in a tangible form. Doing that versus saying, I want a boyfriend, every man that I date, I'm gonna suss out whether he's my boyfriend by asking him, does he want to do things, and does he want to experience things with me that I imagined my boyfriend would want to. Allow yourself to experience everything, take your learnings from what you need to, but don't attach your end goal to it. What often takes away from our experiences with people is only focusing on the end and not enjoying the day by day. When you can focus on a day by day and take out your end goal and your end picture, you will allow yourself to feel differently if things don't go the way to plan, because you haven't attached your final plan to this person. You haven't attached your final plan to that job. You haven't attached your final plan, again, to that investor. And I use these examples because people underestimate just how much rejection can damage your ego. It can go one of two ways. It can have you speaking on yourself negatively in a victimized way, or speaking on yourself negatively in more of an abusive, harsh way. Either way, that is not a route that you want to go down. You do not need to be dimming your light because this version of events wasn't how you thought it would be. What you need to be doing is taking the value and taking the lessons out of that experience and saying, okay, how can I make myself shine brighter? So the next time I experience something, the lesson I get is different. If we don't learn to deal with rejection when it is faced with us the first time, it is going to continue to repeat in itself in the same form until you learn the lesson that you need to learn. Kind of see it like a driving test. You get 3 minors. I think you get 3 minors and 1 major. If you keep getting the same minors, that means you didn't pay attention to what the instructor told you the first time or the second time. Lord knows I had to take my driving test 3 times, but I'm a good driver now. It's about listening. Every experience is an opportunity to listen. Every opportunity to listen isn't necessarily something that is being said to be heard. It's a matter of, you can listen with your eyes, you can listen with your instinct, you can listen with whatever resources that you use within yourself to allow you to absorb the knowledge to do better and to do different. When we're dealing with rejection in love, it is super important to understand and identify where not being received the way you thought you would be, or not having the timing on a situation where you thought it would be, isn't a reflection of yourself. It's a reflection of the reality. Everything has a season. If you start looking at rejection as a seasonal thing, you will start saying, okay, I'm not being rejected. It's nothing to do with me. I'm not a problem. I'm not being repelled. What I am experiencing is me being attracted closer and closer and closer to that thing I want. And each time I go through an experience, I'm learning something new that allows me to attract stronger. I have a different experience that allows me to attract stronger. So you finally are able to recognize and get to that point and look back and say, those weren't rejections. Those were stepping stones to get me where I need to be today. When you are going for stuff and when you are putting out into the universe the things you really want, try to remember and try to put into practice not attaching what you want to ideally a thing, because you might say, I want to work for Sony, and you are going to get more out of your career by working for Universal. Just an example. The reason why I say that is we all have our ideas of what we think is best for us, but there is something bigger and higher around our human experience that genuinely can see beyond our path and will guide us onto the route that is bigger than what we anticipated. It is bigger than what we can actually fathom for ourselves, and that in itself is beautiful. So take expectation away, try to detach, allow yourself to experience things day by day, and don't take it as a personal rejection. Don't take it as a repellent, but take it as a step to attract you closer to what it is that you truly are deserving of and you truly want. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you liked my vibe, please hit that subscribe button, comment, like, and share. I'm so open to feedback, and you can always DM me on Instagram if you'd like, at Moniie Talks, and just keep this vibe going. Like, I'm super friendly. I don't feel like I can't speak to people. We're all learning together. So I hope to see you back soon, and enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week from wherever you're watching. Thank you.